Hey guys, in this short video, I want to take you through the concept of identifying in what order to upgrade the hardware on your computer. This is quite important because if you upgrade the wrong components in the wrong order, you will virtually get zero improvements in your performance. Question for the day. Have you ever upgraded your CPU, RAM or hard drive on your computer, only to find that your PC is just as slow while doing the same common tasks you were hoping to speed up? Please do let me know in the comments below if this has happened to you, or even better, do you have some tips to help people avoid this? Let me give you guys a quick analogy just to ensure that I drive this point home properly. Let's visualize performing tasks on a computer as if we had four cars all carrying this massive piece of wall that's been built to a destination. This sort of represents the functioning of your computer in getting tasks done. So what you see here is car number 1 can drive at a speed of 100 kilometers an hour. Car number 2 can drive at a speed of 120 kilometers per hour. Car number 3, a speed of 160 kilometers an hour. And car number 4 can drive at a speed of 180 kilometers an hour. Now these cars, unfortunately, need to all drive at the speed of the slowest car because they need to all be doing the same speed at all times to avoid the wall falling on the journey to its destination. From this example here, we can see that all four of these cars are going to drive at 100 kilometers an hour to get to their destination because vehicle 1 is unfortunately the slowest vehicle. So none of the cars can exceed the speed. Now, upgrading the wrong component at the wrong time on your PC would be like saying, okay, I want to get this piece of wall to the destination faster, so I'm going to upgrade the turbo on car number 4 so that car number 4 now can do 200 kilometers an hour. And while I'm at it, I'm going to drop the suspension on car number 2, put a performance exhaust pipe on and a new turbo. So car number 2 is also going to do 200 kilometers an hour. What's going to happen? This wall is still going to travel at 100 kilometers per hour to its destination because unfortunately car 1 still cannot go faster than 100 kilometers an hour, and as a result it is holding up all the unused capacity in the other vehicles that actually can go faster. So the only way that I'm going to get this wall from point A to B faster would be to identify the slowest point or the component that is slowing down the others or preventing the others from using their full capacity and start jacking that up first. Does that make sense? I hope so. Let's get over to the screens and I'll show you how you can have a look at your different components on your PC and identify which ones are running at max, thus allowing the others not to use any more of the capacity than they are at that point in time. Alright guys, now that we're over to the screens, let me show you guys how we go about identifying which components are working hard, which are holding up others, and really what on our computer is using up our resources. So let's go ahead and open our task manager. So to do that, we're going to right click on any open space on our taskbar and select the task manager option. Once our task manager opens, first and foremost, just briefly, you'll see all the applications or programs that are currently open and running on your machine. And then further down, you'll see all the background processes that are running on your machine. But if we go ahead and look at the second tab at the top here, you're going to see a performance tab. Let's go ahead and click on that. Now, as soon as you click on that, what you'll notice is it shows you your CPU usage, your memory usage, your disk usage, your Wi-Fi or your network usage, and your GPU usage. In this case, that is graphics processing, things like that. So the nice thing already, just by coming in here, you can see what percentage of each of these individual components or resources is currently being used. Now that does tell you quite a bit about what you should be looking to upgrade. So what I would recommend is you want to start running the common tasks that you do run where you are experiencing the issue. So for example, what I'm going to do is let me go ahead and open up DaVinci Resolve, because DaVinci Resolve is a program I use for my video editing and I find it to be extremely slow when I try to do video editing. So let's go ahead and open DaVinci Resolve. And even while that's opening, we can come across here to our resource or our task manager, our performance, and have a look at what we notice. So immediately we can see our processor is running at 100%. Just in opening this application, our memory is in the high 90s, so I could definitely use more memory, but my disk is sitting at less than 10%. My Wi-Fi network is sitting at nothing as well, and my GPU is below 30% as well. So immediately I can see, based on the machine that I've got and the resources I have available, if I want to improve my performance and the speed that my application is opening, because I do find it extremely slow, what I would want to do is look at upgrading my CPU as well as my memory. Let's take it a step further. So what I'm going to do here is just go ahead and create a new project quickly. And I'm just going to dump one or two video clips in here and start the rendering process just to see what the resource usage looks like and what I should be looking to upgrade first. Okay, so this render is now underway. Let's go back to our task manager and have a look at what is going on here. So immediately I can see the component that needs to be upgraded first and foremost is my CPU. It's maxing out at 100%, and as a result, the memory, the disk I/O, the network, and the GPU cannot work any harder than they are currently because the CPU is maxed out. So first step for me would be put in an i5 or an i7 CPU and then re-look at this. I would definitely see an improvement here, and very possibly one of the other components would now be maxing out at 100% and not the CPU. Once you get to a stage like that, you know that the CPU that you have is sufficient, and you can now look at upgrading the next component that is maxing out when you are performing these heavy tasks that we are talking about. Just something else I want to show you guys that is kind of useful here. I think I've covered the idea of how to identify which of the components you need to be focused on upgrading first, or in what order you need to be upgrading. But just something else that's quite interesting. If we go to this button at the bottom here that says Open Resource Monitor, you can actually get quite a bit more information with regards to what in terms of services and applications is actually using your resources. So if we look at CPU here, we can see right at the top we've got DaVinci Resolve, and that is what's using up the most of our CPU. So this can be quite useful if your computer is slow and you actually aren't performing any heavy tasks at that point in time. Let's say you just switch on your computer, you open up Microsoft Outlook, you're sending a couple of emails and working on a spreadsheet, but your computer is extremely slow. You come into your your task manager here, and you notice, wow, my CPU is running at 100%, but you're not doing anything heavy like rendering a video or something along those lines. Then that would be extremely unusual. So what you can then do is drill down a little bit further and say, okay, well, my CPU is at 100%, or my CPU usage is abnormally high, or my memory, or whichever one it is. You can open your resource monitor here, and you can actually drill down and see exactly what is using that resource. Something that I have noticed before with regards to overutilization and unexplained usage of resources, for example, is something like if you install two different antivirus softwares. Let's say you install AVG and you install McAfee, and the two antivirus softwares are competing against each other. They see each other as threats, and they're continuously trying to block each other, trying to scan each other, trying to quarantine each other. What you'll notice if you come in to your CPU or memory usage, you'll find maybe that McAfee or AVG is at the top here, and it's using way too much resources, or more than it should be, because you actually aren't even actively using the program. So this can be quite useful in identifying unexplained or unusual usage of resources. Alright guys, if you found value in that video, please be sure to give us a thumbs up, like the video, and be sure to subscribe for more practical content and tutorials just like this one. Please do hit the bell notification icon so you can be notified of any future videos as they are uploaded. Another video you might find useful, I'll link it in the end screen here, is how to improve the performance on your PC by scanning, cleaning, deleting, and making sure all is in order. Just basic housekeeping. Check this video out. Guys, thank you for the support. Until the next time.